All right, we're good. All right, so I was supposed to do some block power snatches today, but it's another early session. It's 4:26 right now, and it's 48 degrees outside, so I'm staying inside, and obviously I can't snatch, so I'm just gonna do some block power snatch pulls instead of block power snatches. I got some seated jumps, some bench press with bands, bench press overcoming isometrics, and some chin. So that's the plan for the day. Got a 6 a.m. client. All I had for breakfast was an English muffin with some honey on it. Again, no protein before. I'm just gonna eat all the protein after, and just gonna get after it today. A little bit tired, but that's life. Probably put 135 on right now, maybe you set at 185, then 225, and maybe just stay at 225 and work some really good, powerful reps there. It's a podcast day to day, no music. All right, I'm just gonna do sets of 2 here, probably 4 to 6 total sets. 2.52. 2.59. You can see how sloppy those pulls are, and this is part of the reason why I'm not a huge fan of pulls. Unless you're like a competitive Olympic weightlifter, pulls, I mean, they do provide an adequate stimulus for various things, but they're just an accessory to weightlifting. And like, if you do a pull and your technique isn't that good with like the real lifts, it like the whole continuity of the exercise kind of crumbles, and it becomes less of an effective stimulus for what you're trying to achieve, because your brush point likely is different, your starting position is likely different, because you're just trying to rip the bar off the floor as fast as possible. So like, you're not actually getting to the right positions you want to get to. The bar path's going to be a little bit different, so I need to do a better job of that. But that's basically, people ask me all the time, can I just do pulls instead of the Olympic lifts, the full lifts? And I'm like, well, you can, but it's probably not going to be as effective as a training tool, as an exercise, as the full Olympic lifts. But I guess that's my kind of general take. Sorry, it's still early. I'm still kind of waking up, so my brain's not fully into it. All right, we'll see if I can clean up that technique a little bit. I still want to pull it as fast as I can and be as explosive as possible, but I need to make sure that my bar path is good, my brush point is good, my timing of when I'm going to get up on my toes and begin that arm bend is good. All those kind of things, technical aspects of the lifts, they still matter even when you're just doing pulls. There we go. That second rep felt good. Peak velocity 2.53, 2.50. The first set was 2.52, 2.59. So even though that second rep of the first set, I pulled it the fastest, I could tell like I was on my heels, that the bar was moving faster, but I wasn't like sequencing the movement in an efficient, athletic way. So that's why it still matters, like the technique that you're doing, even if you're just doing pulls instead of doing, as opposed to like the real lifts. And another metric I actually like looking at when I'm doing pulls, I guess you can look at it when you're doing like the full Olympic lifts too, is range of motion. So how far the LPT is actually moving. It gives you that range, at least the OVR device gives you the range of motion figure. I don't know what other VBT devices give you for that metric, but it shows you how far you're actually moving the bar. So it's not just like how much velocity the bar is moving, what the power output is. It's giving you how much range of motion, so how you're applying that force to actually create momentum on it, to actually move it through space. I think that's kind of a cool metric you can look at too, especially with pulls, because you're not worrying about dropping under. 2.57 peak velocity. 2.41 peak velocity. Let's check the range of motion here. 44 inches and 43 inches. 44.2, 43.1. All right, last set here, guys. 2.55. 2.49. Seated box jumps or hurdle jumps. I'm gonna jump over these boxes now. A couple warm-up jumps, and I'll get into my max effort jumps. So I'm gonna hit 15 high quality jumps here. Thoughts on counter movement jump testing as a means of assessing training readiness in team sport athletes? It's pretty popular. A lot of people do that, especially in college setting. You should check out my podcast I did probably about a year ago, maybe a little under a year ago with Joe Padula. So here's the thing is high-level athletes are really good compensators. So if you're just looking at the jump height, it's not going to give you all of the information that you need. So an athlete who is fatigued, who we would consider is not ready for high performance, is still probably going to jump high because they're going to change their jump strategy. So a better metric to look at would be like time to peak force, time to peak velocity, peak rate of force development, these other metrics that contribute to jump height. But a really good jumper who has a little bit of fatigue, they're tired, they have to rely a little bit less on the elastic components of their jumping ability. Because of the fatigue, they might jump a little bit slower. They might spend a little bit more time in that bottom position so they can ramp up their force production with like their muscular effort. So the jump height still might be good, but the contributing factors to that jump height might change. So counter movement jump testing is a means of measuring readiness. It can work for a lot of people, but if you have a means of measuring like the contributing factors to jump height, that's probably going to be a better bet for you. Should I implement box squats if my goals in the gym are solely hypertrophy? For sure, don't see any reason why I wouldn't. Why the English muffins? Any specific reason? I just like English muffins. It's a really easy carb to digest. Throw a little honey on it. It gets you enough carbs for like pre-training. It doesn't like totally mess up your stomach and digestive system. Easy to digest, tastes good. It's quick, it's simple. Yeah, that's why, and it tastes good. Do I have to full snatch in order to improve my power snatch, or can I get away with just doing power snatches to get my power snatches up? Both strategies are probably going to work. I would say a power snatch improves your full snatch to a greater degree than a full snatch is going to improve your power snatch, because if you're power snatching, you're forcing yourself to pull the bar higher with a little bit higher power output. Therefore, you're not going to have to drop underneath. So when you do have to drop underneath, you don't have to exert as much effort pulling the bar. That's kind of my logic there. Here on the bench with the purple bands, I got 240 pounds of weight on the bar plus the purple band. So I don't know what the final weight is up top, but I'm trying to move the bar at about 0.35 to 0.45, somewhere between there on my final rep of each set. Good, 0.43. Change of direction. What are cutting drills training? Just change of direction, deceleration / acceleration, plyo. Yeah, so with change of direction, assuming you're not talking about like true agility where you're actually reacting to some sort of stimulus and using that stimulus to determine where you're going to go, how fast you're going to get there, all that kind of stuff. So if you're just doing like change of direction drills like a 5-10-5, an L cone, some sort of like pre-planned cut and change of direction, you're getting a little bit of a plyometric stimulus there. You're still getting like speed and agility work because you're still trying to move as fast as you can. It just isn't as potent of a stimulus that's going to like transfer to actual athletic performance as much as like true agility work is going to train. So yeah, cutting drills are training the ability to change direction, a little bit of a plyo stimulus, training that stretch shortening cycle efficiency, some rate coding in there. Yeah. 0.41. I'll stay here for all my sets, I think. Okay, so I just got a notification on my phone that my iPhone is out of storage for recording any more videos. I just deleted a bunch of stuff to make sure I have at least some storage so that I can record my sets. So I'm just going to show you my sets. I'm not going to answer any more questions and talk to you anymore in this video. So enjoy the next couple of sets of bench. Not going to show you the dynamic overcoming isometrics on bench because you guys seen enough of that. Then I'll show you some chins.
And it's like they just lose all parts of themselves because they're now in this hamster wheel that they're continuously trying to on, that you have to accept at some point it's gonna stop. It's going to stop. Like, and I'm